Hello, and welcome to another episode of Downright Fierce Gaming, America's best just married podcast. My name is Josh Asensio. With me is my wife, Jamie Covert Asensio. But she's doing other stuff, like talking to people in chat. It's just gonna be me tonight. Oops. Okay, so and then lots of things are gonna go wrong. We're gonna start by doing that. There we go. Mark Mayfields in chat says, nice name update there. Congrats to you both. Thank you very much, Mark. This is just going to be me tonight. Apparently, the hotel where I'm staying is just way too far for Jacob. And he tried to extort me into paying him money to get out here. But you know what? I don't play those games, Jacob. I don't play those games. And I can't be that loud because I'm in a hotel. And I was going to scream a lot louder. And then mid-scream, I realized I should probably not do that. So I'm not going to. This is weird. Okay, let's just get started. Cool. So, quick update on how the podcast is going to go. Basically, it's all going to be done from my computer. This week, we do not have a microphone. Well, okay, so here, I have the microphone right here. And I just sent the cable in my car back to St. Pete by accident. So I got to get a new cable. And since we don't have a car right now, I'm going to have to do that at the airport when I Uber there. So the audio will be better later. I don't know how I'm going to get the audio episodes out because, again, I'm on my laptop and I don't have the software that I had before to edit that. I'm sure I can find some stuff. I'm sure I'll figure it out. But just in case, at the very least, I do know now that I will be able to do these live episodes, assuming I can find Wi-Fi in the other countries that we're going to. So, with all that aside, let's start with, of course, patreon.com. Fierce News is brought to you by MC Lars. Go to patreon.com/MC Lars. Check him out because he sponsors the show and he's awesome. I don't have Fierce News. I don't have the explosion. I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. I just got distracted by Mark and Chat. I'm watching this on my old CRT TV, so this is perfect. If that is true, I love you so much for having an old CRT TV. In fact, I'm going to share a quick story. It's a heartbreaking story. I added a friend of mine, Shay, she gave me her old CRT TV, and I put it in my arcade cabinet. And during the move, while I was moving the cabinet, something shifted in the back, and the chip for the exposed CRT thing in the back cracked. So I think it's broken, which sucks because it was a perfect fit for the arcade. Okay, let's move on to, God, this is so weird to do by myself. And not in front of a studio and a TV. I'm just looking at a little hole. It's like a little hole in my laptop. It's like I'm talking to myself. It's really, really weird. We're going to get past this. Fierce news. So let's start with the biggest news this week. Obviously, the biggest news this week. Chris owes me a date. Chris and I are going to go on a date, y'all. When we get back from our honeymoon, he's going to come to St. Pete, or I'm going to go to Jacksonville, and we're going to go on a date. For those of you who don't know, we beyond a pizza date, because he already owes me a lot of pizzas, like a lot. And I don't know why I inserted date in that. Usually it's pizza bet. We bet a pizza, and he owes me, I think, like 2 or 3. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want a pizza. I want a date. I want you to take me to a romantic date. I want you to wear a nice suit. And then I want there to be candles if I win. And he said, if he wins, then absolutely, no more pizzas that I owe him. Well, we're going on that date. The bet was that the N64 Classic was going to come out. I think it was actually sometime in November that he was saying. But just for the sake of this, we'll just say it was for the year. The N64 Classic was going to be announced. I even want to say that he said it was going to come out. But let's just even say announced. And I'm gonna continuously get distracted by chat. My father-in-law is in chat. He says, "Hey son, hey bonus dad." So yeah, Chris doesn't owe me a pizza. He now owes me a date. This is after news of speaking to Kotaku, Nintendo president and COO Reggie Phil. I need Jacob here. Tell me with his name. Actually, you know what? It's French. I'm looking over at my fiance. Do you want to help me with his name? You could just shout out. No? Okay. Philomene. I never know how to say it. I think it's Philomene. It's Filsmene. dash AME, Philomene. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Reggie. So he basically said it wasn't coming. He said, "quote We were clear when we did the first two classic series that for us these were limited time opportunities that there were that and this is a weird sentence. These were limited time opportunities that were a way for us as a business to bridge. No, that's not a weird sentence. The weird sentence comes later. That were a way for us as a business to bridge from the conclusion of Wii U as a hardware system to the launch of the Nintendo Switch. That was the very strategic reason we launched the NES Classic System." He continued with, "So while customers may have been anticipating something, we view these as limited time opportunities. We've also now been very clear that as the consumer looks forward to engaging with our classic content, that is going to happen more and more with the subscription service." So, oh, and then he was then asked if this completely rules out the N64 Classic, to which he replied, I would not ever rule something out, but what I can tell you is certainly that's not in our planning horizon." So long story short, I was right. I think I just heard Chris cry a little. I in the distance I can hear him weeping from the pure joy that it's going to be our date. He's so excited. I know he's excited, y'all. And in other news, I got married this weekend. Nobody really cares about that, though. It's just whatever, right? So speaking of consoles, there are some rumors floating around that Microsoft will be releasing a new Xbox One console soon. I know this is going to look weird, by the way. If you're watching the video on demand later, if you're watching me right now, I'm going to be looking off to the side because I don't have access to a printer. So I have all the stuff on the screen. I have chat on the left here, and I've got the news on the right. Everything is off, and it's throwing me off, but it's going to be cool. So yeah, a new Xbox One console soon. The rumor suggests that it will be a regular Xbox One without a disc drive to reduce the cost to $200 or less. First of all, I don't think this is anything to worry about. Initially, this news, and a lot of people have been saying that this sounds like this is the first step to a digital-only world. I think there's still enough demand for physical copies to keep them on the market. I mean, nothing's going to shift the market that dramatically that quickly. You look at like DVDs, for example, right? Even not the fact that a lot of people are going digital with streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and all that. Just considering the transition from DVDs to Blu-ray, you can still go into stores and find plenty of DVDs, even though we've basically made the transition into Blu-ray already. It's a steady process. So I think that if we are eventually moving towards this digital only apocalypse, it's gonna be a smooth thing. Everybody's kind of like freaking out right now, and I say everybody. I don't know. I don't speak for the world, but I don't know. The internet seems to freak out about stuff. It's weird. The internet does that. What I do like about this is that it could open up more possibilities in the future for picking the right console for the consumer. So if this happens, because this is just a rumor right now, if this happens, you're going to have the option of getting the Xbox One X, which is the most powerful video game console available right now. Obviously not including PC. You're going to have the plain vanilla Xbox One S, which would be the middle of the road option, and then you have the super cheap option. The people who wouldn't mind sacrificing owning physical media for digital only downloads, which, I mean, we're kind of moving closer and closer to just having video game consoles be PCs, because that's kind of what that is. Like, if you build a PC, you don't have to put a CD drive in there. In fact, I don't know a single gamer who buys physical media for their PC games. But yeah, I think we're moving closer to PC stuff. Let's see what else do I have here. Oh yeah, I wrote here. Now there's another part of this rumor that I wish I had a co-host here for, because I don't know how to take it. The rumor suggests that Microsoft is opening up a disc-to-digital program that lets players who already own Xbox One games on disc to take them to participating retailers to trade the physical copy for a digital download. So if physical copies aren't important to you, this is fantastic, because it's way more convenient to have a digital-only copy of a game than it does for a physical copy, because you can, if you want to play that game at a friend's house, you don't have to, do like you did back in the day and lug a giant, console in a backpack. and hook it up to his TV. You just log into your account. You download. I mean, you're a gamer if you're watching this. A lot of people are gamers that are watching this. Some people are just confused by the things I'm saying, but you already know about digital downloads as far as games go. Um, so it's convenient and that's cool. But I'm wondering, is this the sign of the all digital apocalypse? Like, it seems like it's really cool and it's convenient, but at the same time, I mean, this is kind of how it starts. And the scary thing, and this is why I call it apocalypse. It's not just, oh man, I really like my physical copies, man. I just like collecting them and I like having them on my shelf because they look pretty. I hide them away. I don't care how they look. What I like is that I own it. It is mine. I own it, and nobody can take that away from me. If these and we keep saying this every week, but I'll still say it again. If these services go down, if let's say you buy GTA 5 or you buy Red Dead 2, you bought that this week, you bought it digital only. Let's say you bought that on the Sony network, on your PS4 or whatever. 20, 30 years down the line. Let's say Sony goes bankrupt. Their servers shut down. You lost that game. You never owned it. In the small, terms and conditions thing, you're basically agreeing to lease a game. So, you don't have any rights to it. With a physical copy, it doesn't matter what happens with them. You can just still pop that in your, console and you're good to go. The same thing happened with PT. The demo that Konami came out with that just disappeared because rights issues. You can't download that now. I mean, actually, there is a way to download it, but for all intents and purposes, you can't download it. You're screwed unless you already downloaded it. And that's the only reason why you're able to save it is because the Sony network is still up. Those two things go down, that game is gone forever. It's a digital only game. There's no physical copies. So that's the thing that scares me about digital only apocalypse. Physical copies, I don't really care about it, except for the fact that you own it. Now we got a lot of stuff here in chat. I'm gonna try to catch up to it. Um, Mark Mayfield says collector's edition, but they don't get open. I don't know what that context was for. Um, hey Tim, check out Josh's shirt. Is Tim in chat? You said hey Tim. Okay. Um, he should have on his suit because it was expensive. It was actually Jim. I got it. For those of you who don't know, I got married this weekend. I'm just gonna say that a couple times. I got a custom suit made for me at Men's Warehouse. Wasn't as expensive as I thought it was. I had a decent budget for it, and I didn't even get to the halfway point of the budget. Not that I wouldn't spend the entire budget because my wife is absolutely worth every penny for our wedding. But I didn't spend that much. Don't tell her. I spent the rest on Red Dead Redemption 2. No, I didn't. I swear. I bought that before the wedding. Um, so my wife asks, what are the chances of servers like that actually going down, though? That's the thing. A company like Sony, chances are, I feel like this is weird. I'm answering your question. A company like Sony, a company like Sony, no, that's not likely. It's probably not going to happen. But it has happened with games like Mag. It was a PlayStation game. I mean, well, okay, so it's kind of a similar situation. A game like Mag, it was an online-only game, and once they shut down the servers, another example would be, I'm sorry, I'm going ADD. Let's stick with Mag. So I actually had the physical copy of this game too, but they shut down the servers, so you plug that game in, and there's nothing to play because the server shut down. Now that's a different thing because you can still access the game at the physical copy, but it's the same kind of idea where when the server goes down, it's done. Like there's no information left to transfer back and forth. It's just yeah. Um, Again, kind of a bad example, but Mark Mayfield says usually there is one or two major game service shutdowns a year. That is true. I mean, it happens. I mean, again, Sony, pretty major company. They don't just rely on the games. They maybe that was even a bad example. Let's say Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo makes video games and plushies probably, but you know what and classic editions. Still, they're primarily in video games, so they don't have anything else to fall back on. Sony makes TVs. Sony makes all kinds of stuff. They make Blu-ray players. So Nintendo shuts down all your digital only, games most likely gone. Although I'm sure there would be also some kind of thing where maybe somebody buys them up and they have the rights, they'll maintain the servers. I don't know. I don't know that kind of stuff, but um, we got a lot of stuff in chat. All right. So Matt says, I wonder if there are plans for Sony to open an archive server to keep digital available as long as possible. I mean, that's the smart thing to do, right? They probably did. I would assume so. That's anything like that. Any idea that I ever have or ever hear about something a company should do, or like a sports team or a country or politics or anything, I immediately, my first thought is, if I thought of that, they thought of it. Because when you deal with these massive companies with, thousands of employees and just people who just their job is to think about this all the time, they probably thought of it. Especially since they're so close and they have access to way more privileged information than we do. I'm sure they've thought of it. Uh, the question then would be: is it feasible? Can they do it? Is Would it even be worth it financially for them to do that? If they open an archive server, how do they make money on that? Because it's just really, that's just for us. That's for the consumer. They're not even advertising it, so they're not even getting any good PR from it. What would be their benefit? And maybe there is one. And maybe, yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't read the terms and conditions, for games or for anything like that. So I'm aware that they basically say you don't own it, but is there something in there, that's saying Sony agrees to, go through any measure to maintain your digital rights to the game? We need to get a lawyer on that. I mean, that's what? Yeah, go to patreon.com/downrightfierce. Kick us a couple bucks so we can get a lawyer on retainer, and we'll just call him in the middle of an episode. We'll just ask him. Yeah. Um, and then classic Xbox Live completely down. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's move on. Oh, and that was Josh Clinch. Hey, what's up, bud? All right, let's see. Oh, so here is some. Speaking of Sony, here's some upsetting news. Sony has announced that they will be skipping E3 this year. Now, there has been. Okay, I was reading my notes, and I write very conversationally. So I thought that wasn't a conversationally written thing. I was like, now there has been word about declining importance. I thought it was like, now there has been word of no. Okay, that was weird. There's been word about the declining importance of E3. You know, you've got Bethesda who sets up a booth, not booth, but they set up a conference next door to E3. People have been kind of moving away from E3, and the reason why is because it's stupidly expensive. I mean, it's the most popular gaming expo of the entire year. Everybody talks about it. Everybody gets ready for it. It's the only one that we really actively cover. Um, it's a pretty big deal, E3, but it's been declining over the years, mostly because of how expensive it is. People are starting to kind of pull away. Interest even is pulling away. In fact, the attendance was down until they opened it to the public, and now everybody else is like, oh, like let's go to E3. I'm kind of anticipating maybe the hype about it, the excitement for E3. I mean, Mark even says E3, and then snoring ZZZs. Um, that might be why. I think actually, I mean, I kind of think that's why. I don't think this is a big deal. It's weird though. It is weird that the same year. Actually, it's not weird. I have information about that. Let's pretend I didn't just say that. It is weird um, that they also skipped PSX this year, or is it? Official word from Sony is that they're quote exploring new and familiar ways to engage our community in 2019. This was during an interview with Game Informer, and they were also asked about why they didn't have a PSX this year. Oh, maybe some answers to that burning question. To which PlayStation Senior Vice President of Communications said that Sony is, quote, looking at events as a whole and how we can speak more to our fans and continue to wow them. So clearly, this isn't anybody who has any authority to tantalize us with any kind of teasers about what they have, working on them. It's not Sean Layden. It's not some guy who's like, oh, maybe next E3 you won't have to ask us about the name changes. And yeah, Matt actually has a good point. Nintendo Direct broke the mold. I think Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Nintendo Direct is basically Nintendo's E3 that they have whenever they want, and it's all just videos and stuff. They run in Nintendo stores. You can watch it streaming in places. Nintendo Direct is their way of communicating directly to their customers, and I think that's what Sony's going to go for. But they're saying new and familiar ways of connecting with customers. That's what I really started hanging on. And it got me thinking about, like, I mean, there's nothing that doesn't mean anything right now, but it got me thinking what that could mean. And I have an idea. It's just a little fun idea. It's possible technologically. It's absolutely possible. So bear with me. What if they make an announcement on social media? There's the familiar part, social media, and through their other news outlets, and start saying, "Hey, log into your PlayStation on whatever day for a true PlayStation experience," which is what PSX stands for. It's PlayStation Experience. Day comes on, everybody logs in. There's a similar video roll, kind of like Nintendo Direct. The same kind of stuff you see at E3. Then it's like a flash thing of like, oh, Days Gone is coming out, and here's a new 5-minute video from Hideo Kojima, where you now you can see not only does your person walk through the desert, they skip. What does it mean? Ah, uh, you see all that typical stuff, and then in a kind of like hyper definition, like extremely high definition way, like he's in front of like this amazing green screen. He walks out, and it almost looks like he's like in your room or something. And it's Sean Layden. I didn't say who it was. It's Sean Layden. That's the guy who walks into your room. He appears on the screen and he says, "Now I can't do an impression of him. We know it's hard to watch events like E3 from home and wish desperately you could be here to play these amazing titles. Well, thanks to the power of the PlayStation Network, today you can. In just a few minutes, you'll be able to stream demos from a list of our upcoming games and play them for the duration of this experience." That's possible without even downloading anything. Without downloading any files, you can go straight from a video. As long as, I mean, you'd have to be on your PlayStation. They can put coding in there. You go straight from the video to a menu, and you see Days Gone. You see The Last of Us 2. You see Walking Simulator, Death Stranding. You see all that stuff, and you can select whichever one you want and stream it right there. And you just play the same demo that they would have at E3. Ow. Mic drop. Mic drop. Dude, would that not be amazing? Also, Matt says, I miss PlayStation Home now. I never got to experience that. I was very upset. When I finally got a PS3, they shut down PlayStation Home. No joke. It was like a week later. Yeah, it was like a week later. Tell me that, I mean, for those of you who know technology, you know that's possible. Why not? There's a car honking behind me, and I'm really hoping the microphone is not picking. I can't scream either. You hear it? Man, man, man. Okay. I have ADD, guys. I get very distracted. Anyways, it's fun to dream. I really wish I got a water. You got me, fam? Thank you, wife. Mark Mayfield says cloud gaming hype. So now, okay. So I'm not gonna say I'm exactly right about that. It's there's nothing to base that on. I'm basing it off of hype words, hype keywords that they're using. Um, actually, good point. Mark Mayfield says, but all that server load at once, rip. I think we're basically there. So it's it. Thank you, sweetie. I agree. I mean, I agree. It would be a lot. Maybe a line system, just like ED3. There you go. That's how you you fight that problem. Because I agree. Yeah, the server load would be really high. If there's a line system where you just have to wait in line like you would at E3, and it says, "Oh, come back in like 30 minutes," and then it's gonna be your turn, and then you get 15 minutes on the thing, or whatever. There's a line system. There we go. So Matt goes, it's a very similar experience in all fairness. A virtual world where a virtual world you could walk through with an avatar and watch videos, play demos, etc. Oh, I know he's talking about PlayStation Home. I thought that was the coolest thing. I remember when PlayStation 3 came out. I got my PlayStation 3 late. I got an Xbox 360 first, and I got it very late into the console. And man, like, I thought that was so cool. Um, yeah, I mean, Mark, that's the thing. You know, he says, wait in line in your home by yourself, not surrounded by stinky people. You know, that's what E3 is. It is a hot, stinky mess that everybody goes home sick. And for free. That's the thing. You get to go to E3 for free. Okay, let's move on. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to say I was right about that. But here's an easy one that I totally called and turned out to be right about. Hashtag Josh was right. On the 15th this week, it was confirmed. Oh, you guys, it was confirmed that Sunset Overdrive will be coming to PC. Yes! Oh my god. So excited to play this game. The second I heard about this, I mean, this is Insomniac. This is the same guys who did Spider-Man. Like, I, I, I got so excited. I mean, here's the problem. Okay, actually, before we move on from that, that was on the 15th this week, and then the game came out on the 16th. They did one of those. They freaking, yeah. Uh, and the even better part is that it's not even just on the Microsoft Store, which is what I totally thought they were going to pull. Not just on the Microsoft Store. It's on Steam, it's on all that stuff, and it's only $20. I mean, it's an old game. That's fine. That's fair. But still, good deal. I haven't played it, but I hear it's an absolute must. The problem, in my opinion, for Microsoft, though, and this is what I was going to get to, is that this is one less reason to buy an Xbox. There were only a couple. Actually, for me, there's only one reason left, and that's Game Pass. But my backlog is already so crazy that I mean, sorry, I just picked up a new game, and I'm gonna talk about it later. That added another like 40 hours to my backlog of games I have to get through. I don't even have time for Game Pass. I think it's an awesome system, and I would love to pick that up, but I don't have time for it. So now with Sunset Overdrive gone, I cannot think maybe Forza Horizon. I can't think of a reason to get an Xbox. Crackdown 3, Skylar was talking about that last week. Sea of Thieves, but I have a PC. I can play Sea of Thieves on PC. I don't need that. So that's it. I can't think of a reason to get an Xbox. That's the end of that story. I'm definitely glad I have a PS4 because, in related Josh was right news, PUBG is officially coming to PS4. What up? It's coming out December 7th, 2018. It will be $30 for the base game. And if you pre-order the game, you get a Nathan Drake desert outfit and Ellie's backpack from The Last of Us. So here is the question that I would pose my co-host if he was here. Is it too late? And they would probably go, yeah. Yeah, it's too late. Nobody cares about PUBG anymore. It's all about Fortnite. This is the first time that Microsoft really made a good call when it comes to exclusivity. As far as, actually, you know what? Yeah, yeah. Because the last time they did a move this big was with Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They had that exclusive for 1 year. I think it was 1 year. It was either 1 year or 6 months. It was 6 months. That's right. So they had that exclusivity for 6 months, and it was still a big seller on PS4. So that wasn't that big of a hit. But for PUBG, they got that at the height of PUBG. Maybe not the height, but I mean before it started declining, and they got that 1 year exclusivity, and it was obviously a mum agreement. And now Sony's finally getting PUBG, and nobody cares about PUBG anymore. Mark Mayfield is 1,000% too late. Yeah, so people still play that. I mean, from what I heard, there was an update recently that made it more playable, and that's still my kind of game. Um, with the exception of the fact that now Call of Duty Bobo's out, and I have no reason to play PUBG because Bobo is better than PUBG, and that's more my style. With the exception of the power-ups. I don't know. I like PUBG. I like Bobo. Um, is PUBG FTP? FTP. I'm going to take a sip of water while I try to remember what FTP is, other than File Transfer Protocol. You mean first-person shooter? I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's too late. It's too late. I wonder how this will do, because You also got a lot of people who, a lot of console gamers don't have gaming PCs, and you need a somewhat decent, at least, gaming PC to run PUBG. Maybe people would pick this up just to try it out. People who've been curious, because it is definitely different than Fortnite. It's completely different feel, free to play. That's, of course, free to play. No, it's not free to play. It's $30. You know, it's it's $30. Yeah. I mean, I never got into Fortnite. I like games more like PUBG and more like Bobo, just because they're a little. It's weird to lump Bobo with this, but they're a little bit more realistic. Put the power ups aside. You know, Mark Mayfield says it's too late to apologize. Eh, eh, eh. I got you. All right, let's move on because I am ADD as fuck. Here's some other good news. It turns out Metroid Prime 4 may not be as far away as we thought. I will let you sit with that clickbait thing for just a second. Oh, water's so good. It's so good. The game was announced a year and a half ago at E3 2017, and although Nintendo is still not ready to show anything, Reggie Fils-Aimé, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Reggie Fils-Aimé. That's it. Recently said, quote, internally, we have expectations about when Metroid Prime 4 is going to be released. We haven't announced it yet, but yeah, the game is well in development. When asked if the reason we haven't gotten a release date is because of the company's new general rule of announcing games closer to the release date, he said, quote, typically 6 months to maybe a year out is what we like to do. But there are times for strategic reasons. This is the weird sentence. This is what I was thinking the thing earlier. This is the one. But there are times for strategic reasons that we believe it's important to message that a game is coming. I'm going to try to put that sentence together. Hold on. Typically, this is all one sentence. Typically, 6 months to maybe a year out is what we like to do. Okay. There should be like a semicolon there. No, because there's a contract. There's the but. Okay. I found the but. But there are times for strategic reasons that we believe it's important to message that a game is coming. Nod your head. Tell me that sounds weird. That sounds weird, right? Yeah, okay, thank you. English, right? Okay. It's weird. That's a weird way to structure a sentence. I don't understand what that means. Anyways, we did that years and years ago with Zelda. We were messaging a new Zelda experience back during the days of the Wii U. It really depends on the game. It depends on the type of development that it's going through, and it depends on how we feel the consumer is going to respond to the particular message. So that's him backpedaling. It's like, oh god, no, it's not. I mean, it's not all like that though. We might have a game that gets announced, super later. This isn't like 100% rule. This isn't a rule of thumb. This is just, it's just kind of, oh god, I said it already too late. And you already wrote that down in your little notebook, didn't you? You wrote that down. It's too late. Oh god, it's too late to apologize. Hey. Oh. Anyways, but that's kind of crazy that they are well into development. I mean, to me, just the way that's worded, that sounds like they're more than halfway done. Which, I mean, there's no way to really know if you're more than halfway done to a game. But holy crap. This game was announced a year and a half ago. It's Metroid Prime 4. Are they, how long have they been working on it? And if they've been working on it for that long to where it's not been just in development for a year and a half, which is what I thought, because all we saw at that E3 was a title. That's it. We saw Metroid Prime 4. That's it. No voiceovers, no concept art, nothing. It just said Metroid Prime 4, and then the internet broke. And you're well into development? Damn, Reggie. Matt says, building hype is the name of the game now. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah. I mean, that's where hype is kind of... There's a bell curve to hype. It shoots up like, oh my god, Final Fantasy VII. Oh my god, it's a remake. Oh, look at that video. Oh, look at the video. Oh, look at, there's more video. Okay. All right, and you're... Oh man, that's cool. No, that's episodic. Okay. Yeah. I don't care if this game ever comes out now. There's a bell curve. You show too much. It's like Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima has a way larger bell curve. His is just I don't know if you can see my hand or not, But like his just he gets a lot more leeway with a lot more people because it's freaking Hideo Kojima. But eventually, you show too much Death Stranding, and it's gonna be like, oh my god, there's only so many times I can see Norman Reedus's butt. You know, like he has a great butt, and I'm so happy that he has a baby inside of him. These are things. I'll show you the video later. Norman Reedus with a baby in his throat that gives a thumbs up. It's a thing. It's freaking Hideo Kojima. Cool. Metroid Prime 4. I haven't played 1 through 3. So even more exciting news for the upcoming titles. EA has announced plans to remaster Command & Conquer, Tiberian Dawn, and Red Alert for PC. I don't know how many people care about this. I don't care because I care about this. I don't care because I care. That's a weird sentence. There's no release date yet, but I hope this brings forward a new era of real-time strategies because it's kind of gone the way of... and I always forget what it's called. It's called like Dota and all those games. It's called a... I don't even want to see chat because I want to come up with this on my own. It is called a MOBA. It's called a MOBA. Real-time strategies kind of went away, and they didn't even just go away. All the interest just went into StarCraft. That's it. Everybody loves StarCraft. Oh, StarCraft's so awesome. It's okay. You know, everybody cares about StarCraft, and then nobody cares about Command & Conquer, and the rest of the people who cared about Command & Conquer and cared about Warcraft, they all went the way of Dota and the other ones that I'm forgetting the names of. Yeah. That's where the interest is gone. And I don't like MOBAs, and I don't like StarCraft. So I've just been sitting here with my thumb on my butt, waiting for a new Command & Conquer. And I'm not getting that quite yet. Maybe they're gauging interest. Who knows? I mean, they kind of do that a lot. And the thing I liked about Command & Conquer is that it wasn't complicated, because that's what StarCraft is. It's like super complicated and all about clicks per minute, and it's all that weird like little micromanagement stuff. I like Command & Conquer too, where you put your little soldier guys and you put them in the buildings, and then the guys they walk up and they go in the buildings and shoot them, and then some of the guys can like do the bunker thing. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, wife. You know what's up. It's a fun game. And you know what also they need to remaster? I don't know if anybody remembers this game. I have asked so many people, nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's a thing. Google it after the show. It's a thing. Command & Conquer Renegade. Nobody remembers this game. It is the weirdest freaking thing I have ever encountered. Command & Conquer Renegade was a Command & Conquer game where you play as one of the soldiers in a third-person, actually no, in a first-person point of view. And it's a really weird, kind of map because it's basically all the properties of a Command & Conquer game, but you're one of the soldiers. And then when you die, then you get respawned in the thing, and then it's like that, and you go back and forth, and you try to destroy their base. Mark Mayfield says Renegade isn't remembered. Thank you! Right? Renegade's a thing! It was a fun game, too. I need water. Give me a second. There's going to be some silence. Hope they're not screaming at me. What if they were like, yeah, Renegade's fucking great! Okay. And he also says Warzone 2100. Not my kind of game. And Matt says, I need a remaster of Dead Space, which EA owns, I think. There was a weird... Okay, I remember... What was it? Hold on. Who made... I'm going to look this up right on the spot. Dead Space developer. Visceral Games. That's right. Visceral Games is making... That's what it was. EA shut down Visceral Games, who made Dead Space. So we can have another Dead Space, but it won't be made by Visceral Games. Which, I mean, I guess it's a remaster. You don't really need the original team. That's right. That's the people we're talking about. That's why we're not going to get a sequel. How are we doing on time? Holy crap. That was 40 freaking minutes. Wow. All right. Renegade's off. That's the end. That's the it. That was the end of the news. Okay, cool. So, what I've been playing. I guess that's the next part of the show, because I'm not going to do the same joke I did last time with the video game 20 questions, unless you got one. You don't got one, wifey? Okay. Ugh, I hate when people say wifey. Wifey, hubby. Um, okay, so I've been waiting to talk about this. I picked up the new Let's Go Pikachu. Oh my god, I love it so much. Here's the thing. It got pretty good reviews. Like on IGN, I think they gave it an 8.5, great point 5. And it's a fun game. But it's kind of they've really dumbed down Pokemon for this game. It's not an official sorry, it is an official Pokemon game, but it is not like the next major installment in Pokemon gaming. Like that one's coming out maybe next year, year after that or something. It is um Matt says proof you can solo if need. My dog, Matt. Thanks for the vote of confidence, man. Um, it's a fun game though. You know, it's dumbed down, yes. The battle system is the same as the original Pokemon games, which is the thing I was worried about. I didn't because the catching system is different. When you walk up to a Pokemon, uh, on my special Switch, yes, on my special Switch, um, when you walk up to Pokemon, traditionally what you do is you battle them and you get them to almost die, and then you throw a Pokeball at their face and it like breaks their nose and sends the cartilage and stuff. And if you send the cartilage into their brain at a good enough angle, then it captures them. Um, in this one, you just throw Pokeballs at their face until you catch them. So it's different, and I was worried that they would also take out the battling, but no. You go through the game regularly, and you can still battle. You know, it's Pokemon Yellow, basically. It's exactly like that. Um, it's the original, 151 Pokemon. It's in the Kantos region. It is Gen 1. You know, it's even got some of the same people in the same spots saying the same things, which I totally forgot. Some of these lines really stuck in my mind. Like, there's this kid that goes, "Hey, I'm wearing shorts. I love wearing shorts. Shorts are the best. You're wearing shorts too." And then just fights you. Uh, oh, it's a dog barking. I thought it was somebody screaming. I'm sorry. I get really distracted by that stuff. Um, so I mean, it's a fun game, and I'm loving it so much. And all I can think about this entire podcast is how I can't wait to go back and play it, which I'm going to do very soon. Highly, highly recommend if you've been looking for something to scratch your Pokemon itch, and you've been worried that it's just not worth picking up. It's so much fun, and because I have the special Switch, I was also worried that I wouldn't be able to transfer my Let's Go, no, my Pokemon Go Pokemon to my Let's Go account, but you can do that over Bluetooth. And my wife says that Let's Go is so pretty. It is, especially when you evolve stuff. It does this like really cool like thing. Pick it up. Just do it. Pick it up, like they say in the ska songs. So, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. The episodes are definitely going to be shorter if it's just me. And maybe just in general too. I don't know. When it's just me, it's probably going to be a little shorter. Um, Next week, Sunday, we will be in a place that my wife will write in chat because she's going to be super helpful, and I can't remember if it's Virginia or New York. But ready for the buttons, Mark? I don't know what that means. Oh, I gotcha. I can't see that, unfortunately. And that wasn't fun for the audio listeners. Anyways, next week I will either be in Virginia or New York. I should be able to get Wi-Fi, so we're absolutely going to have an episode next week. The quality will probably be similar to this one, which is fine. But actually, at the very least, the audio will be better. Like I said, I don't know if I can get the audio out there. I will try. I'm going to figure that out today. And then the week after that, we will be in Iceland. And I don't know what the internet situation is like in Iceland, but we will find out. At the very least, I will record an episode, and I might have to post it when I get to Wi-Fi. So I don't know if it'll air Monday or Sunday or what, but I will get something out as soon as I get Wi-Fi. That does it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can watch every Sunday. Well, actually, I gotta stop saying that because I don't know. Usually we do every Sunday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time here on Facebook.com/DownrightFierceGaming, Twitch.tv/DRF Podcast, and YouTube.com/DownrightFierceGaming. You can listen to our audio episodes sometimes, hopefully, we'll get it out every Monday on iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, and Stitcher. Buy t-shirts and stuff at teespring.com/downrightfierce. If you want to contribute, you can go to patreon.com/downrightfierce. That's where a couple bucks a month gets you all of our exclusive content 1 week earlier. Actually, there's not going to be exclusive content for a little while. It's kind of hard to do that when you're going overseas. But it does get you thanked at the end of the episodes. So we want to thank Mark Mayfield. Thank you very much, Mark Mayfield. I want to thank Tristan Haynes. Thank you, Tristan Haynes. We want to thank Brian Altano, Damon Hadfield, and MC Lars for letting us use their music. Gracias, guys. We want to thank our executive producers, Ryan Kizmetsky, Carolina Jarvis, and Andrew Face Kicker Kirkendall. Normally we end with a music video, but I couldn't get that to work on the laptop. Sorry. And also very special happy birthday to Brian Kizmetsky. It's his birthday weekend. Is it today? Is his birthday today? Aw, happy birthday, Brian. Love you, buddy. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Good night.